Hello, and welcome to another episode of Fictional Character Motivation. I'm your host, Quan, and today we're going to be hitting on Home Alone, on making your environment work for you. Hope everybody's doing awesome. Please let me know about the new intros. For everybody, I'm doing one different intro for YouTube, as much as I'm doing one different intro for podcasting. So, if you want to listen to both and see which one you like better, please let me know. If not, that's okay. Just still keep listening, still keep getting inspired. But hope everyone's doing well, and here we go. Home Alone came out in 1990 when bratty 8-year-old Kevin McAllister acts out the night before a family trip to Paris. His mother makes him sleep in the attic. After the McAllisters accidentally leave Kevin at home for Christmas, he awakens to an empty house and assumes his wish to have no family has come true. But his excitement sours when he realizes that two conmen plan to rob the McAllister's residence, and that Kevin alone must protect the family home. I think I almost rhymed. Alone, home. Yeah. Anyway, in this movie, we see that with strategy, any opponent can be beaten. That almost anything can be used as a weapon or a nice distraction. And that with enough time, creativity, and planning, a house can be the biggest trap. In this whole movie, we see, besides the Christmas theme, that the person who can master their surroundings can master any obstacle. Think about that. And what counts as your surroundings, your environment. Really think on that. Not just your house, although that does count. About your car, about any place you go, whether it be a restaurant, bank, grocery store. How about even your body? If we are thinking about life, these are for my people who think about life as a spiritual journey, as an experience. Think about your body as being one of your surroundings, as one of your environments that you're raised up in. Let that hit for a little bit. This can go from having peace and love at home to self-awareness wherever you go. The environment that you experience on the daily can either raise you up or put you down. So, how can we set up your environment to your advantage? Well, as usual, I have a couple of tips. First tip is place things to boost you up, to motivate you, or to remind you of the goals that you have. I think this is underrated, especially since loads of people still kind of might possibly mosey on through life without really knowing what goals they are, knowing what goals they want to go for. And the reason is they don't have much, I think they don't have many reminders. The same goes with pretty much boosting you up. Some people may live in a bad environment, but that doesn't mean you have to go with that said environment. Maybe you could raise it up a little bit. Maybe you could set it to where you every time you look in a certain spot, instead of it looking at doom and gloom, you look at something positive, like maybe a quote, maybe a picture that reminds you of what you're doing, of why you're getting up early, of why you're going to work, of why you need to work out. Maybe you, instead of every time you go to the fridge and go for said food, What if you went for something healthy? What if you went for something better? What if you saw something in there that you knew for a fact would boost you up? I'm not saying depend on energy drinks. I'm saying we use something to connect our minds that pretty much encourages us, that strokes our fire, that invokes us to have a better attitude, to have better energy. You know? Let's see here. Another thing is maybe place things, maybe have a place or do things around certain areas to trigger a habit. That could always help. Like, for instance, I know that for a while now, uh, gyms are starting to slowly get back in the swing of things. But what's the point? What's the true point of a gym? It's a place for training, a place to do fitness. Couldn't that be anywhere with the right kind of, let's say, setup or focus? At my house, I'm most, thanks to pretty much COVID and just my focus on fitness pursuits on myself, my house is technically a workout area. But I can make any place a workout area. Just give me equipment, or I'll just have a set plan that could, set exercise plan that I need to execute. And that's the thing, um, that I think would help a lot of people is that if you're trying to do something, maybe instead of try to do something whenever, wherever, maybe you should set up some space to where it makes it easier to jump into that thing. For instance, if you're trying to go to the gym in the morning, maybe when you wake up, instead of the first thing you see is your phone, maybe the first thing you should see is your gym clothes. Maybe the first thing you should do is get out of bed and put on your gym clothes. Maybe the first thing you do is you get out of bed and you do some ab exercises, or do some stretches. That might ignite your brain to be like, hey, we need to wake up so we can go to the gym. And this can go for a lot of things. I mean, this is why I think most people, when they decide to work from home, they have to have a certain room that is dedicated as the office, so that anywhere in the house is like, okay, this is where I sleep, this is where I watch TV, this is where I play games, this is where I have serious conversations with people. But when they go into that room, it's all nothing but office work. It's all nothing but everything that they need to do that laptop at work. And even I've experienced it. Like, I've used to work. I used to work on the computer or do computer stuff on the table right behind me. I'll bend it. I don't know if you can see it. I don't think you can, but there's a table right behind me, and that table is mostly used for two things: eating, or possibly playing a board game there. And for a while, I was using that as an additional spot to get on a computer and do stuff, to get me serious about stuff. Well, now, as you can see, I have a little bit of a desk here. And because of this desk, it's like each time I sit into it, I know, like, okay, I'm gonna do something on the computer. I'm gonna focus. I'm gonna dial in. And like I said, this can go for a lot of things. This application, this setting up an area to where you do stuff, can go for working out, can go for doing computer work, uh, working from home, uh, is pretty much a good example. Even in a spiritual sense, there's been, since I'm here to let people know, I consider myself a Christian spiritualist. But if I get into it, even from like other religious spiritual sects, such as Wiccan, or those, or anything that involves that, they have a room where they do spiritual stuff. And and that pretty much help encourage them. That helps bring them more into focus about why am I in this room? Why am I in this space? And I would advise you to do the same thing. Like if there's something you really want to work on, maybe you should set a space to where, okay, this is where I do this is where I do that, and this is where I focus on just one thing, and you just do it. So that's my other thing. So revising back, we have place things to boost you up, to motivate you to the goal. It can be quotes, it can be pictures, it could be that inspiring goal that you want to. Maybe you just plaster it somewhere and you just look at it and it inspires you. Another thing is you have a place or you do things around certain areas to trigger a habit. If you want to work out, put your put your gym clothes to where they're the first thing you see in the morning. If you want to have a space to where you can make working out at home a thing, make some space to where you can have working out a thing. And this can be done for uh, work, for writing, for reading, for focusing on work, for improving yourself. I mean, all that stuff. There are certain things you can do to trigger it. Yeah. And the last one that I have is know where the important stuff is. I say know where the important stuff is this goes out for general self-awareness everywhere. Like me being a martial artist, I have a thought that, okay, if someone was to break in, what weapon could I access? What thing could I use to defend myself? And if you ever came to my house, you'd sneakily realize that I have weapons kind of scattered everywhere. Like I have a collie stick near the sofa. I have knives in the drawer. I have um, I have pretty much some stuff that I can use for improvisation in other rooms. I mean, I've thought about every kind of scenario and what will be the most efficient weapon. I mean, it goes into jokingly. I might even make a joke video about like martial arts paranoia 101 to where it's just like, okay, I'm in this spot here, I'm in this spot. What could I use to defend myself? Or what would happen if someone was coming at me right now? It's like, well, I grab the water bottle, throw it in their face. And, it can lead to a whole bunch of stuff, but basically know where the important stuff is. That includes where your drinks are. Your that includes where you're pretty much not where your weapons are. Where's the remote? You know. And this even doesn't stop there. This can go for pretty much where are the exits. This can go for not only your home, but for restaurants, for movies, for everywhere you go. How many exits are in the spot you're in? Where's the bathroom? Just in case nature calls. Where's the spot that you need to use the restroom? These things, keeping these things in mind, are always helpful, and they'll always make sure that you are using your environment to your benefit. So, just to go over a quick review, place things to boost you up, motivate or look at the goals of the day, such as if you want to know what your goal is, you want to know what the mission of the day is, you want to boost yourself up, maybe place positive things on your refrigerator. Magnets are popular. I'll also be coming out possibly with a clothing or merchandise line that may help with that. Have some positive quotes here and there, but that's a little bit later. Um, place it on your mirror. Place it in your door. Place it even on your phone. The first thing you see on the phone should not be your phone. And unless it's pretty much you have a timer, because I'm not going to be too get away from your phone kind of guy, but at the same time, we already spend a lot on our phone, like believe it or not. And with phones being as powerful as a laptop nowadays, it's completely understandable. But let's try to keep that away. Let's focus on what we need to focus on. So, have stuff that boosts you up around your area. Two, place or do things around certain areas to trigger a habit. This could be pretty much like setting up a workout area. This could be setting up a work area for when you do home stuff. Yeah, for when you do work from home. This could be if you want to do some writing, set up an area to where you're doing writing. If you want to do some more spiritual stuff, some religious stuff, set up an area to where you just focus on doing religious stuff, spiritual stuff. Not saying that you can do this anywhere, because in a way you can, but I also know that this could boost you up. This could set you up more because instead of going, oh, I can do this everywhere, you realize that, when you're at that spot, you only focus on doing that spot. That's why gyms are such a good focus when are probably such a good thing in the beginning. When you want to focus on going to the gym, you may need to just go to the gym, because in the gym there's no like not many people trying to talk, even though sometimes there are. You pretty much see all this gym equipment, and the first thing that should click in your mind is, okay, I'm in the gym, and I need to focus on doing my workout. That's what I should be doing. And you can do that anywhere. You can do that at home. You can do that, in your car. You can almost sneakily carry it with you. Like if you have, since the body was mentioned as one of your surroundings in a spiritual, religious sense, you can maybe walk around with a wristband or tattoos. Not saying if you're not into tattoos, don't do that. But with a wristband or with pretty much having a piece of paper in your pocket that you can take out and read. Use everything to your advantage to help you. And 3, know where all the important stuff is at. Know where everything that you like to do, play games, remotes, games and stuff. I mean, that goes for pretty much that goes like basic organization, but not only going off that of just like where all the stuff is physically, but how many entrances and exits do you have? Not just at your place, but where everyone else is. Where's the restrooms? Where you get food? Where you need to go for trash? Have this take a mental check on everything in your surroundings and know where everything's at. Don't just guess and be like, well, it should be here. I mean, don't do that. Be prepared. Be aware. Use your environment, because one day you may need it like Kevin, and you may need to use emergency weapons or emergency exit instead of you going like, oh God, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. Instead of it, you just be like, okay, well, I see this is happening. Breathe, let's go over here. Or breathe, let's reach for this. Or even this could go for a panic. It's just like if you're going through a panic of like hyperventilating or anything, it's like, okay, I know in this spot I calm down, so let me just play some music. Let me sit in this spot. Let me breathe. And that is using your environment to your advantage. I hope this helped for everybody. Please let me know, whether it be through text, through pretty much YouTube, or just by simply liking the channel, subscribe to the channel, show love for the channel. I'm trying to get this to a certain degree so that I help as many people as possible. And FYI, there has been certain talks that YouTube will be putting commercials in their in everybody's video, from the biggest YouTubers to the smallest ones, like your boy here. So keep that in mind, that if commercials start popping up, I did not place them there. And the only way I could place them there or do something strategic would be if I managed to get enough subscribers, which is a very big number, so that I can not only be monetized, but have control as to where I put the commercial. But I'm cool with what I have right now. I appreciate everyone listening. I hope everyone has an awesome day. And as always, be awesome, be powerful, be strong. Remember, improve from films, improve from watching films by examining the film, and of course by looking at your boy here and going through talks. As always, have an awesome day. Deuces.